bottle fill as well, yeah. Notice how the Tiny's opted to start with the Null Talisman as well really early, just because he needs the mana income. He just doesn't... He's not going to get these runes. Like, the Breaker will just take both water runes.
More from Power Rangers. Now, I wasn't watching you guys until they told me I should be, and now I've got my eyes firmly set on you. Somehow you snagged Oct as your 5, and he is performing, man. That guy's got...
Dire whatsoever. I mean, Morphling did get his Lincolns, but the Dagon unironically also breaks that as well. Meanwhile, Ursa's gonna have BKB.
Charge in on Honcho. Yeah. Nice for the rest of Radiant to turn up there. I think if they lose that Necro, not so good for them. It might slow their tempo down a little bit, so...
Yeah. Gachi's getting close to his first... It's not
and of course, Axe Dagon, right? Axe Dagon deals with those major illusions.
Yeah, Dagon one-shots all illusions, no matter what. And... best heroes, and he's just... RFA just laying down the law with this Rubik. Insane. That's definitely getting banned. You're not going to see that game here.
I mean, it's a Grandmaster hero, these comfort picks, man. They do what they do. And Prey was playing phenomenally on that Spirit Breaker, carving up and making some real space. But I think the hero of this story for me has got to be Johnny. That Mars laned into... lane... I've played into Rev quite a bit, and I've played both his Naga and his Troll, and they are spooky, spooky, spooky heroes when they are in his hands. So I get it. Goes that Undying. Gachi is here to play though, and it looks like the Dai team needs to run away because Gachi is hungry. He is a big, fat, juicy bear, and he finds Johnny just like that. The Zeus is enough to wrap that kill for him. Dota, dude, what an absolutely phenomenal game of Dota. And what a phenomenal co-caster you've been for me as well, White Clint. Huge, big Dota brain in that head of yours, hey?
Thank you for having He wants to play into Shadow Fiends because you can't
can we just talk about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling.
It's away from him because the Voker doesn't even need them, I don't think. Lag. I have.
Don't stress. I'll let you know what's going on. One thing I was going to say though is that the
meant to be. We have another charge onto Johnny. Let's see how much damage this one
does. Johnny. I wish there was a charge counter because that bull has been bullying you all night. The Zeus is coming to try.
Wow. There's so many, like... You can see that, like, both teams are playing well, obviously, but there's so many, like, minute mistakes that are getting punished, right? Like, bottom, those two heroes not dying. You might see that somewhere else, but...
I also noticed immediately that they've decided to ban out the Storm. Obviously, Storm IO is a combo as well, so they didn't elect to get rid of that. Yeah.
So they're not going to get Huskered here.
So, are you Rejects looking for a Rambe on this Spirit Breaker? Just unbelievable performance. It just felt like it was everywhere. 63 Culling Blade stacks. Or Code of Blood, I think it's called now. Oh, sorry, super stacked.
Yeah, so the lanes have gotten much better for AU Rejects this game than last match, which means the Dire's not going to have any momentum going into mid-game at this rate.
I'm a little bit worried because, to be honest, the draft that came out from Painters, AU Rejects, last game was worrisome. But this time they've drafted better, and their draft is really coming together. Before he had this Bull Rush talent, Boxy was doing exactly what we're seeing now. Now he has the Bull Rush talent. Like, it's so obnoxious.
It breaks Dota.
Yeah.
You're
better and better and better. We've got Team Dog Cage, Australian Painters, AU Rejects. Like these are some awesome teams this season.
Yeah.
Flag. It just rubs me the right way, dude. Seeing Jason hanging from a flag like that. Oh, look at the other flag as well. I'm joking. Okay, let's get into this. So, tell me a little bit about these teams. What can we expect to see?
That you can work like to actually still have a game no matter what. And this is also a really well-balanced hero to set up for the last pick, where I'm sure Huncho...
And the bear goes down, so at least they take something. Huge streak goes the way of the Vengeful Spirit. Alright.
They have the
That's
invis on the young Herald. They're setting
Sand
up
King
with...
is chasing that Zeus. He's chasing.
But we don't have an expected winner, I wouldn't say, out of any of these. It could really go any way between like the top 3 or even the top 5.
So put me in the mindset of...
That was a very unexpected and abrupt ending, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, the 27 minutes, not the fastest game I've seen. I saw Devious knock a stack in 22, 23 minutes.
In a row, and then you're relying on your mid laner to go penultimate last and win you the game. But the troll pick's really good. Like, even though Necro is considered a counter, you can buy Ags on troll, you have so many tools.
May just be able to deal with it. Axe has got looking bottom, he wants this Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit doesn't catch him. Oh, beautiful call, finds her in the trees. Huge prediction there, and Johnny goes.
See facet. Basically, as he gets more and more kills with his status, because obviously you get 1 stack every time you kill a creep, and you get, is it 6 from a hero? And currently
The owner's out now as well from the Invoker, and that Tiny is doing his best to slip away. Raccoon pushes the Invoker off, but now Raccoon might be in trouble depending on how this Rubik plays. Has the...
Another thing is the Morphling went Linken's to protect himself from the cow charging him globally, but it doesn't protect you from the Axe, who's about to try again. He's lighting up entirely and opting for the Eternal Shroud instead because of how much damage the toss combo does to you.
Shadowblade on the Spirit Breaker at this stage.
He's going to start getting out of control.
There is a Glipney, Ame, Yatoro. Sometimes you sometimes you're just caught out, and that's the end of that. Also, no respect for the Morphling. He doesn't have the sweet shark skin.
Wind Ranger for AE rejects. Beastmaster ban, same for Sorta Gang. Are they actually just going to end Brood? So it's 2 of the same bans from the early game.
Rolling it back. Hey, we know how strong Brood has been. There, and that Spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here because the bear is on top of it, and down goes the Spirit. As
they don't have the damage anymore, like in the numbers, but the amount of saves that the Undying was able to do, and the amount of like, even if it's just like a tombstone save or just the Greaves keeping someone alive, that prevents like 10 to 15.
It's just 3 heroes. I guess the Spirit Breaker is just lurking between mid, and he is charging in on top of that Sand King, but the Sand King does have a double damage bottle as Prey took the Watcher back, and he's just sort of hiding in position.
Yeah,
it looks like they want to deal with Gachi here, and they're bringing the Sand King down, but it's a garbage hero in the patch. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not seeing it anywhere on Dota Pro Tracker, and yet it's in all the games that I'm casting. Why? Why does this hero keep getting picked up?
It depends on... First of all, you need a Rubik.
He's about to take a whole lot of damage. There he goes. Down.
Cool.
1 hit.
Yeah, I think he overstayed his welcome there, definitely. And he didn't even deny the bounty room.
They feed the Benji to the bear too.
Sorry, what?
They feed...
I'm glad they're finally moving the IO up top, because a lot of the kills RFA's gotten have just been on the edge of he's playing max limits. If you add one more hero into the mix, it doesn't work. Oh my god. And drop a sandstorm with Axe. That's all he has to do. Speaking of the lanes, I think there might be a bit of action in mid this game. He's even going for a halberd on Sand King. He's doing anything he can to live. Tiny's almost got Yules, the Venge has the Ags, but yeah, they have no item progression on. They're both incredibly unique and they both have a good flavor to them. Like, obviously, attack or defense, right?
Yeah.
There's no ambiguity to it. They're both insanely good when you want them, you know what I mean?
Top of that Morphling. There is the save we were talking about, though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Benji would be there to swap afterwards. And now they may just lose Johnny instead of bumps into a wall 4 or 5 times. Like, this is great to see. I love seeing Mars in my games. And to see someone play it incredibly well like Johnny did. Super hype. Super, super hype, mate. That's super cool.
Execution on Slaughter Gang to wait out the Aegis, it just didn't matter. He got like no value out of his Aegis, no regen, but it's just too much. They're too far in the hole, I think, at this point, unfortunately.
When did last
3 Mars? They're just gonna play around the arena, I think. They'll play slow.
Seems simpler to execute, right? Like, it's a Mars ult,
yeah,
it's a troll ult, it's an invoker winning his lane and rotating. Like, this seems like the out pins the IO to the wall, and now Gachi, caught out of position, might be a big scary undead necro, but needs to be careful. Takes out the invoker. I didn't even see invoker on the backline. Here's the first Snapfire ult we've seen in the game, and down goes Rubik.
Just be because of what the players play here. Like, obviously, you don't see a lot of Axe at Riyadh, but you see a lot of the Willow and the Hoodwink that kind of prevents it, and the Underlord where Fury Bear getting 3 kills at 13 minutes. He's going to have such a quick blink, and he's going to have such a quick Roche. And so, the things to watch out for in the next 5 minutes, Roche goes tops, AE rejects take it.
Now he gets tossed up in front of the tower, and there's a whole lot of damage coming out, but he's fast enough to click onto the creep to stop the tower aggro. Big screen comes out, and the potion saves him. Well played.
Wowie.
Big old juicy. Lord.
These Greaves on Winching are doing God's work for him. And it's insane. So they did change the Roshan's banner. It's not going to leave the lasting buff on them anymore. So these creeps are just going to be standard creeps.
Yeah, on the snap as well. So, well, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's going to just start punching him as fast and hard as he can, and I think
that from the Tormentor?
charge
yes,
in on the Sand King.
They have another save.
Looks like he just decides to speed away, but the smoke comes out and it's not caught on any vision. So if they find someone here, they
Tombstone doesn't care if he dies. He has a ceaseless dirge. Oh, random Ursa kill. Gachi's down.
What happened
Gachi's
there? Was he
down.
just lurking on low HP? Did Prey take him? Was it Prey?
Yeah, he got slain by the Tiny toss.
God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's just bonkers.
Breaker, just because of the Oz split up and farm mentality, gets you so many free kills. It just makes the game harder to play for a lot of players. And all you need to do is really catch them out.
What's Windy up to here? Yeah. Stacking like a good support? No? Yes? Yep, she decides to.
Yeah, there's not really a lot you can do.
Spirit Breaker has pinged out the. You've got Bear Blink, the Zeus as well. They need to be very careful about how they defend this high ground.
The only way I can see them actually defending is if this Tiny is somehow able to...
No, hey, step up too far, and we're going to put some pain on you.
I gotta give Harold credit though. If there's any player that I would want playing from behind, it would probably be him. He does know how to make miracles happen with borderline.
They're thinking about the double rampage. Do they want Reverie? Are they going to hunt him? Gachi's in, doing what he can, but he's taking a whole bunch of damage from that fountain. They still haven't secured the racks. The Tiny himself, the Tiny himself is going to be struggling with mana into this Invoker. And you mentioned the runes. I've seen really good Invoker players just summon their spirits to go and deny those runes right in front. So close. And Prey is running now, and he's a very fast hero. Tiny, hungry, goes for the beach ball play, and is absolutely successful with it. Love a beach ball play. Used to get those all the time back in my day. Oh, the Ricochet. So we get the Rubik 5. So Snap does elect to be the position 3.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of play in this bottom lane, as long as into a Necro IO was able to somehow like get what he wanted out of the lane. He really wasn't that far behind. I had a look at the net worth, and he wasn't that far behind. And then on top of that as well, he was able to then just down by Gabala again! Gabala just making this guy's life absolute just absolute hell, dude! Christ, Gabala, give him a break! Give him a goddamn break! A little bit better. But we're starting to see some big items come out on the Radiant supports as well. Raccoon is getting real close to his Shadow Blade. He's about 200 gold. Oh, there is a Zeus ult, and down goes the Morph. The Morph must have been top and got called by the axe, I imagine. I didn't see it, but I imagine we'll see those.
I would have to imagine so, right?
Rubik. I cannot count the amount of times I keep seeing this hero getting picked. I think this hero sucks. Like, I think it's...
The reason why it fell off a cliff is because when Tiny came in the meta, he could literally two-shot her with 2 tosses. The hero just doesn't have enough health and armor in this stage of the game, and playing...
But 27 is still really fast for this this division, especially when you think you can find a way in. But I just don't think that Necro was ever going to. They've got an execution in mind. There's the Mars ban, there's the Rubik ban. You called that. And they
I didn't
take
call
the
Mars
Spirit
ban, but they steal the Spirit Breaker, so that's gonna flip it. No bash.
Hang on. I thought this game was looking like it was going to wrap up very shortly, but Slaughtergang got claw.
That's it. My god, that does so much damage as well.
So was he just...
He only did 700. It was half health, I think. And he got cleaned.
Nice. God, Tiny does so much damage.
It will just be doing some kind of counter on whatever mid that is picked.
Perfect. Well, we see the Necro come out. Now, Necro IO is a combo, and a pretty spooky dooky combo. The heal is... Oh, this IO. The IO gank is here, and then we see the tiny toss, and that is an enormous amount of damage. They try for the beach ball play. It doesn't really play off. The troll ult is out. Can he get the root? No. It's just one of the strongest pos ones we've seen.
Definitely.
Is it going to be enough to deal with the Morphling?
I don't know. So on paper, right?
Running! Axe wants the dunk!
They got him!
Oh
no, he
my god! Rampage to that Axe! Oh my god, that's Ruse doing everything he can to get up into its fountain, and it is not going to make it.
Yeah, they're my competitors, of course, and I think it's going to be a really hype series.
That is exciting, and that's what I want to hear. I love when their game is competitive. Competitive gaming is what I'm all about. Another huge Mars ult, and that IO is just gone. Down goes Gabala as well. Troll on the edge, wants to go in on the Tiny, but Tiny gets the blink off. Now that Troll ult is down. He is still forced to just run at massively, but it just needs to be saved for the defense in a losing game. And I keep seeing him like grabbing Gachi or grabbing the axe or grabbing the spirit.
Okay, so I would expect a couple deaths up top either way.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? Is these universal heroes just do so much damage, and Windy obviously had some you'd pop the Lincolns, but that bear is still running at you, and out comes Tombstone, which is going to give him the vision he needs. Abyssal Blade keeps you in place for just a second, and Huncho, oh, you need to be careful, mate. He's invisible.
Fast.
Oh, Reload comes in.
Invoker
in a bit of trouble, and out comes that Necro ult.
Punch is down. He got him again. He's getting caught out. Oh, no.
Coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when there's that magnetize, a stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling. Okay.
No,
the bear is on top of Huncho. Huncho suddenly is inside that disruption, but it's just enough for him to get out of there. The Mukau is still charging though. To him, Susol comes out to give vision. He is trying to pour it out of there with the avalanche, but there's the Dagon coming out from the axe.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Gabala is feeling themselves. Dagon Axe, it's been a long time.
They really put a trouble getting a full ulti off because Scythe was on cooldown for 10 seconds. They just didn't have the way to 100-0 him. They cast the disruption instantly on the Spirit Breaker, which didn't last at all. And then he gets baited into thinking he can go on the Shadow Demon, but then
missed Axe call, drops the Dagon, and then drops the
damage. Like the bear can do like a good chunk. Now he has like the maul bonus and like the attack speed. But yeah, they cannot leave the base.
Raccoon is just diving the base. Oh, looks like the Zeus Axe comes out, and he goes to the god. He has some HP. Huncho, you need to be careful because Zeus is looking at the sidelines, and you are gone, mate. Wow, in comes the cleanup. Huncho's down here. Did they scout him on this ward? Yeah, they did now. Okay.
They see him now. Yeah, this is another good ward. As you can see, the Dire has almost the exact same ward play. Tier list time. I think a lot of people have
got their own. They've got their own tier list, exactly. But what I want to say is, put me in the boots. Here's a question. You're talking about finding an answer for the Morphling as a core, but I've seen Undying played as a 3, and I've seen Spirit Breaker played as a 3. Not
through, just because it was the most impactful hero on Radiant last game by far.
Well, they just beat it. Are they confident enough to let it slip through? They're going to try and shut this Axe down. He still does have his tower, so his team can come if they want him. And Huncho does have a whole lot of damage on this Sand King, but his spidey senses a tinker of Radiant is here now, and all of a sudden this fight that looked almost kind of good suddenly looks really, really bad as Gachi just turns on them and absolutely eliminates them. The Shadow Demon goes down, the Vengey goes down, and now the Vengey Spirit might go down. Morphling or camps and build up that triangle. But the thing is, everyone knows he's going to be doing that, and so they're going to block his camps. As a 5, this hero just does sin, so absolute loser. Anyway, moving forward, let's get straight into this game. We've got Gachi on Ursa, Young Harold on Zeus, Gabala on Axe, Wing Xing on Undying, Raccoon on the Spirit Breaker.
Of the Shadow Demon, they've gone for an Undying, one of the few saves in the game that doesn't get ruined by Shadow Demon. You can just buy Shard and put someone in a Tombstone for 3 seconds. or
Yep.
until it breaks. I haven't seen a Shadow Demon very much. I do think it's one of the... I think it's like a timeless hero, if I had to
It's just so
put
good.
it down.
It just does so
Yeah.
much. It does so much.
Stop him. And top lane, there's going to be like a bit of actual play. 2 Universals on Radiant, both ranged. It's a lot of damage. You can catch anyone off guard. Even Reverie and RFA. Hunch Dog George to get in. When he has his phase blink is when you'll see a lot more movements actually happen.
And he's
I'm
coming
not
up
sure
on
what
his
Gooby was
6th.
trying to do there.
In comes the charge from behind the tower, but she gets a perfect little stun on top of him. But if it leaves it much longer, this snowball might be too big to slow down when you're sitting at the bottom of the hill. And I'm really worried for Radiant.
I think maybe with no items he'd be the highest HP hero, but we're starting to get into the point where the universal heroes that stack up the double circlet at the start of the game, I think that's actually the reason why Reverie's died a couple
Mukau is
times.
charging onto that Shadow Demon, and he is just absolutely eliminated. That Zeus ult is doing some real damage.
Oh my god.
Where did all that
so much
damage come from? What? Where's my recap?
Yasha Kaya and
Thinking about diving this Tiny. Tiny, you need to be careful. You've stepped out of position and the big bear is coming for you. They elect not to finish him off because they think that the zombie can. And Tiny gets out.
Young Harold